So right before I hit record, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and germs, Liam decided that he was going to get a little slutty. And what did you do, Liam?
I popped open a crisp and refreshing Diet Dr. Pepper. No free ads, but
Well, yeah, well, no free ads. Mine isn't exactly diet. However, as I was about to record, and as he did that, I recalled that I've got a little Dr. Pepper in my fridge as well. So we're gonna get
23
it live.
flavors.
Oh,
Can't go wrong.
you heard all 23 of those flavors pop right out. Mm-mm-mm. Again, not an ad. Ooh, that's peppery. That's good. My sister-in-law randomly got a six-pack of the bottles a week or two ago, and they've just been chilling in the fridge. She's like, I don't know why I got six of them. Can someone help me please get rid of them? Try
I
not to
feel like
drink as much soda.
I feel like the bottles help, at least when I get stuck with that, and that's my only option. It takes me forever to drink them because it's not the same. I need it out of a can.
So you like it out of a can?
Yeah, 100%. Not a plastic bottle. It's
I
just it's not the
suppose.
same.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not as crisp. It's not as refreshing. It's not.
But
It's just I don't know. There's something off about it.
it's
It
the
needs to
least
be
I
like
could do.
from a fountain or in a can.
Definitely found a quick power ranking of sodas. The best is definitely out of a good fountain, I would say. Actually, you know what? No, best out of a glass bottle. No, 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 no. Good fountain. Good fountain. Nah, shit. I'm torn.
No, it's good. It's good fountain. It's good
Good
fountain.
fountain, glass bottle, but I would say glass bottle for a beer. Not you have not like you have a beer fountain. Well, I guess you have a beer tap, so it's similar. But good fountain, like at like a McDonald's or movie theater.
McDonald's Sprite. There's no contest.
It's so crisp. It's like fucking booze. It's that strong put hair in your chest. But that glass bottle, and then yeah, I guess I'd go can, plastic bottle, and then bad fountain. If you get a bad fountain soda, it can ruin your day.
I'd have to agree. I feel like the ice becomes a large factor too. If it's bad ice, it can really hurt the experience.
Yeah, like that's like fucking dirty. Yeah, yeah. No, thank you. It's got to be.
Nah, I
And
need
I
that
don't like
Chick-fil-A ice.
I don't like a ton of ice in there. Just a little bit of ice. Small to medium amount of ice. I don't like it when they load it to the gills with the ice. No, thank you. There, it can be fine on its own strengths, on its own merit. Hey, maybe Dr Pepper becomes our drink of choice whenever you beat the New York Yankees in a baseball series. What do you say?
I like that. I like the sound of that. I
Well, it's
gotta
a two to
say,
three.
it
It's a two
sounds
to
right.
three vote, no matter what Jake thinks about the matter, because he's not here this week. But we are here, the decision makers, and again, by the power of a majority, we
The
are here.
elders, the elders
Yeah,
of the group.
the elder statesman. Yes, I am the middle child in terms of age, but still on the older super majority side of things. That's Masa Yoshida is real and strong, and he's my friend, aka Liam. I am Chad Bradford, aka Fitz. Jake is apartment hunting in Brooklyn. I'm walking here, or
So
he's walking here, I should
he's
say.
definitely having a lot of fun. That's
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
he's
He's really
enjoying
missing out.
he's enjoying the experience and the prospect of looking for more apartments in the greater New York metropolitan area. He's loving it. He's loving it. Doing so much that he's like, guys, if you could give me a break here, I'm just enjoying this so much. I can't record on Monday as much as I want to. I just love looking for apartments more. So that's why he's not
He's
here.
basically off doing the Spider-Man 2 Tobey Maguire montage where he quits being Spider-Man and he's so happy. He's never been happier.
So by the way, if you just heard a bark in the background there, that's because Samson is over right now. So Liam, remember this. If you ever have any doubts of how much I like you, I'm recording and it's cutting into my Samson time, and that's what
That's
I need to.
that means a lot to me. And I'm quite frankly I'm offended. I had no idea he was there until just now
I did.
because
To be
you could
fair,
have
I
just
didn't know
brought him on. You
either.
could have just brought him on.
If
Jake,
he
you're fired.
if he comes back down, maybe I'll yell to Alex and say because Alex's mom is also over, and I didn't know that she was going to be over this late. But maybe if he comes back down again, I'll have Alex come in and Samson
No,
can say
get
hi.
the hat, get the hat on him and everything.
The lucky
We're going
Samson, yeah,
full
show.
2021.
Exactly,
Have
yeah.
have we told that story? I feel like we had to, right? We
No.
had to have at some point.
Yeah, but that was a moment in time. If you were following me in 21 and like us, because that's before we really started. We started recording leading up to 22. So listeners of the program may not know about the Lucky Samson. Alex just tweeted a picture of Samson, similar to this kind of Kelly Green Sox hat. It was a white bee with the shamrocks around it, and said this is a Lucky Samson retweet for good Red Sox luck, and they went on like a 13-2 stretch. It was a
Yeah, it was like
magical
late in the
run.
year, right? It was
No,
it was late in the
it
year.
was towards, I believe, the start. Because then
Oh,
we followed that up with a lucky UMass one when they were in the national championship game for hockey and they won.
oh,
So
okay.
if memory serves, it was earlier on, and that kind of sparked
And
the
then
21
clearly
run.
when we needed him most, he vanished.
He did,
We
yeah,
haven't seen
and
the Lucky Samson
that
once
was
in a
the
blue
only
moon.
that was the only time he's ever been a bad dog. But listen, if the Red Sox keep playing like this, if the Red Sox want to make this a push in 24, we might have to blow the cobwebs off the Lucky Samson because this is fun. This is maybe the most fun since the 21 Sox that I've had watching Red Sox. Oh, this is Pod on Lansdowne, by the way. Thank you for tuning in. But this is maybe the most fun I've had watching the Sox in quite some time because there are spurts where like last year when we had that crazy win against the Braves, like that alone was fun. That walk off that Verdugo had against the Twins, like that was fun, like in a vacuum. But in terms of consistent stretches, since that 2-2 series on the south side of Chicago, it's been really, really fun watching the Red Sox. I know that's some hard hitting analysis that you're not going to hear anywhere else, but I'm having a fucking blast, Liam. This is great. 2 series wins against the Yankees, a sweep in Miami to celebrate the nation's birthday. I'm having a ball.
I gotta say, and to quote Jake, I know he's not here, and I know it's not even a quote of his, but I'm feeling good. But let's not start sucking each other's dicks just yet.
I am puckering up just a wee bit, Liam. Yeah, I understand that's a
But
great
no,
reference.
I had to throw that in there because I know Jake. That's exactly what Jake would have said off the bat. Um,
100%.
I
That's his vocal tick of the week.
Yeah, exactly. It's all he keeps saying to us in our group chat.
Out with Big Justice, in with the Pulp Fiction reference.
But I don't know, Fitz. Like you said, man, it's starting to feel a little 2021 around here. The vibes are good. The team, they're seemingly all of a sudden. I mean, we got to mid-May, and it seemed like if they were down 4 runs, 5 runs, the game was over. And then now it's like a flip is switched. I don't feel like they're ever out of a game. The at bats they're putting together, the way they're manufacturing runs, they're beating teams in so many different ways. And whereas at the start of the year, it was the starting pitching was keeping them in games, keeping things tight. But like I said, we weren't really seeing the offense this consistent as it has been really now for almost the last 2 months. I think since May 15th or something along those lines. If I had the record pulled up in front of me, I can do that math later. But there's something like 10 games over since May 15th. So that's a significant stretch of baseball at that point. That's not a third of the season, but you're almost at a third of the
2 months.
season. Yeah.
I mean, bring it to the end of this week when it gets to the All-Star break, which we have a special episode planned for next week as we get to the All-Star break, the third annual Havsy Awards. More information on that later. But that's 2 months of ball, essentially, for all intents and purposes. That's 2 months. That's a third of the season.
We haven't seen that out of them the last 2 years. The 22 teams and the 23 team, it was obviously there were ebbs and flows. I mean,
yeah, they'd have a good
somehow, some way. Like I don't know, they were in the wild card hunt at the deadline, and then even into late August, early September last year, which still it never really felt like they were actually in it, if that makes sense at the time. Like whereas with this team right now, I feel like they have a chance every night. With now I watch this team, the 24 team, and I look back on the last 2 years, and I see a lot of games where they would have rolled over. There's been so many like late comebacks recently, especially since that White Sox series. Like over the last month, I think 5 or 6 times now they've won games when they've trailed in either the 7th or 8th inning, even the 9th. So I don't know. They're grinding, and
yeah,
the vibes are good, man. And I said it maybe like 2 weeks ago. If they're 10 games over at the deadline, like all right, like let's make a move, because then you're seriously in it. And here we are. We're 9 games over with, 2.5 weeks until the deadline. I don't know. As long as they stay the course here, unless there's a dramatic fall off out of the gates post All-Star break, I don't see why you wouldn't add to this team right now.
Well, it's not like they play one
Because
of the best teams in base.
there's so many encouraging signs. You're
Right.
getting something from everyone on the roster these days, it feels like.
It's not like they play one of the best teams in baseball directly after the All-Star break, though, right?
No, of course not.
Sorry, I don't mean to bring it back, but I just had to point that. Although they can easily, they can chase that with going to Colorado at the very least after going to Chavez Ravine and playing the
Of
Dodgers.
course.
And it's just 3 games, right? That's not going to make or break your season right then and there. But you bring up the interesting point, and we'd hardly be the first and probably not going to be the last people to point out the fact that the Red Sox of 22 and 23 don't win a game like on the 4th of July against Miami. They don't come back to tie that game on Friday in the Bronx. When I was the drunkest boy alive, celebrating my buddy's wedding. He was getting married Saturday, so that was the rehearsal and welcome party. So I was watching that in Newport, Rhode Island. Congratulations to my boy getting married. But anyways, they don't come back to win games like that, right? It's you've already had a couple of instances of this happening, a couple big comeback wins over the last however many weeks at this point. Something is different, I wish I could sit here and be able to quantify that or define specifically what it is. I don't know what the difference is in terms of. I mean, you could point to philosophies of like the pitching and whatnot. You can quantify those changes that have been made, from one year to the other. But in terms of that never say die sort of attitude, I don't know what has changed. Maybe it's just a matter of the guys who. Yeah, they were young coming up at that point. I mean, they're still young now. Someone like a Duran or a Devers, Houck being involved in that. They were younger then and relatively young now, but more experienced. Maybe that comes just with time. I don't know. I don't know what's changed since then. I'm just here for it. I don't know. I could talk in circles about this until I'm blue in the face. I'm just curious. What do you think has maybe changed? Is there anything that maybe
I just kind of like the cut of their jib, man. It's
I just think they're neat.
It's very vibes based right now. But at the same time, it isn't. You have Devers tearing the cover off the ball, which we can get into in a little bit, and the starting pitching is still holding it together. The rotation's bending but not breaking. Houck's still leading the charge. Cutter's back to his old self, his early self.
We'll definitely get into that.
That we'll get in. And I mean, to his credit, we bagged on him. It felt like up through Memorial Day, but man, Kenley's been lights out. I think there was a Sox note tweet earlier. He's like 14 for his last 14 save opportunities. Hasn't given up a run since like mid-May or in his last 10 appearances, something like that. So I don't know, man. Everybody's contributing. And I think Corey even said it maybe a week or so ago, where he's just like, we're maximizing the roster.
Yeah. He said that like a week or two ago. I mentioned that in one of the Over the Monster articles a couple weeks back.
It's true. I mean, you've had this rotating door in the middle infield that's seemingly kind of found a home in terms of, Hamilton, Valdez, Rafaela, all rotating there. And, maybe you get something from Grissom later on in the year. I don't really know. But when Story went down, it really did feel like the rest of April, until they found their footing, we were like, all right, they're making errors left and right. That's costing them games. Now, suddenly, the defense is pretty sure-handed. Not that they aren't making a boneheaded play even here and there. But I don't know, man. Everything's kind of clicking right now. And there's not much I can look at, maybe outside like backup catcher, where I'm like, like I can't. If
that's your biggest issue,
right? Then things are going well. which they have been. I mean, we recorded last week and we were like, hey, it was just nice to salvage the Padres series when they were on Sunday. And I mean, their only loss since then was the blowout on Saturday that, quite frankly, they were in for half the day. They were up 4-3. You went into the bottom of the fifth and the wheels fell off. But, you know, Wink, that's another conversation, which, you know, he gave you what he had, and then you got to go to Chase Anderson. The bullpen was depleted that day. Those days happen. But outside of that, you know, you've had those gritty wins in Miami and Friday night in the Bronx. Even Sunday night was a gritty win. Like, Heel looked really good. You know, was matching Cutter pitch for pitch pretty much. And I don't know. Guys are coming through. Devers, of course, making the Yankees his son again. And here we are. It feels like it happened so fast, too, where we were like, oh, they can't get over 500, or they'll get over 500, they fall back to 500.
What a difference a month makes, you know?
I mean, the last time we looked at them under 500 was that first game of the Phillies series that they lost 4-1. And since then, they are, was that 16-6? Like, that's unreal. So
yeah, just to give you an idea, you say how quick it's changed. We're recording this Monday night, the 8th, right? June 8th was that Bayo game in Chicago against the White Sox. They lost 6-1. And that's like, oh my God, are we about to drop 3 or 4 to the pale hose? By the time you're listening to this...
And then still that Sunday in Chicago, they had to pull it out in extras.
Exactly,
that was like,
right.
Felt like the first real, like, gritty win. And then here you have it.
Yeah.
We're sitting
pretty. And then they lose the first game to Philly on June the 11th, right? So when this comes out, it'll be July 10th. What a difference a month makes. And I'm really glad you brought up the whole maximizing the roster sort of thing, because on my drive home from work today, I was listening to probably a better Red Sox podcast by the name of Section 10. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, Devers unanimously won the series MVP. Clark's catch-up, yep, but... a lot of the honorable mentions, the packets were being tossed to a litany of guys.
Left and right.
Right? You don't win this series without someone like a Dom Smith keeping the line moving. Obviously, Yoshida, his contributions in the ninth, contribution, like it was a game fucking tying home run, Fitz, you know? You can say something better than that. Obviously, Seti, what he did on Sunday, in addition to Friday with the go-ahead homer, Cutter Crawford, Kenley Jansen. It's not just Devers driving the ship here, although he's on this incredible hot streak. I might as well just get out of the way and say I'm fucking with him, because well, I'll save it for after the break, but it really is everyone rowing in the same direction here, which I appreciate greatly. So that's great. It just, again, the quote Marge Simpson again, I just think they're neat. I just think they're neat, Liam.
No, I agree. And I don't know. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. Like, is it a philosophy? Is it just the players themselves finally getting their footing? And I think it's all of that. I think it's yes, there's been a lot of turnover the last 24 months. You have staples, like franchise staples, and JD and Xander leave, and Chris Sale leave. And I know I mentioned this, I think it was last week, about how they changed the pregame or pre-series hitters meeting to be less general and more tailored to each individual player. So I think, to Cora's credit, I think he also realized like his approach needed to change just based on the guys that he has at his disposal.
Baseball's a game of adjustments, you know?
Yeah. And
it's cliche, but it's true.
To me, quite frankly, if they don't make a major move at the deadline, but say they give Cora an extension before we start the second half of the year, like, I'm okay with that. Because to me, that at least signifies that ownership and the higher ups, they
don't say
there is a there's a direction.
Don't say it.
There's a direction, and there's like
faith
leadership.
In the direction.
Yeah, faith in the direction. Because I don't know. It's just kind of like, So if we go into the second half still feeling really good about ourselves and come out of the All-Star break. I mean, say you take 2 or 3 at Chavez Ravine, and we're closing in on the deadline, so playing really well. It would feel strange to me if they were then to go out and make a major splash for a team-controlled pitcher or something along those lines, when you're kind of like, all right, well, like, who's leading the team next year? Like, are we just kind of free balling it? So I don't know. I mean, I think Cora has handled this season has exceeded any expectations I had.
Yeah, he's been strong.
So yeah, it would be very strange to me if we get through this whole season, regardless of what happens, and we're still like, AC, enjoy LA, buddy.
Thanks
like
for
something
the
like that.
memories.
Yeah, it would just
couple of head scratching decisions as here and there with
sure, with any manager, especially
stuff.
when it's us, we watch every night. We're like, okay, we're quick to second guess, but
yeah, armchair
I don't know.
Guilty of it.
The overall body of work this year has been unbelievable.
And not for nothing, like if he's managing the clubhouse well, if he's if he's having everyone rally together around each other, that's almost bigger than the typical day-to-day managerial stuff. Now, any big blunders, of course, they can't have that, but if a guy is able to get the clubhouse together working towards a common goal, then that's fine with me. And if that's what's happening this year, then yeah, I'm down with that. Let's take a quick break. Let's step aside for a moment, but when we return, our fuck with and our don't fuck with of the week. Stick around. All right, I gotta read the term. I gotta double check that when the sweepstake. Hi, it's probably Jonah watching. Hi, Jonah. It may not be. I don't know. The giveaway. When did we say? This is just for the giveaway. I'm just trying to double check. I think we said until the 15th. July 15th. I'm going to tweet that out now just to let people know. Just want to post that out just to be clear with people. All right. Now let me be clear. All right, back in 5. We're back. Pod on Lansdowne. No Jake. We are Jakeless this week, but we are not Liamless. Liam is here, as am I. Fitz. A reminder that we are on Twitter. You could follow the show at Pod on Lansdowne. I am at Fitzy Mopena. Liam is at Liam Fantasy _. Jake is at Jake Wallinger. And if you go to Twitter at Pod on Lansdowne and look at the pinned post, you will see the instructions on how to enter our 1999 All-Star Game 25th anniversary giveaway. Liam, the 3 things one person will win. 1 winner, 3 prizes. It is a 1999 All-Star Game hat, a Pedro Martinez bobblehead where he is taped to the dugout, and 22 packs of sealed 1999 Topps Blaster Box baseball cards. Now, there are 2 ways that enter. 2. Count them, Liam. 1 and 2. Uno and dos. How do you say in French? Un and deux.
Deux, trois. Yeah.
Look at you. Did you take French?
I did. It took 5 years of it. 8th grade through senior year, man. I don't remember much, so it didn't stick.
Sacre bleu. And if there's any other ways to say 1 and 2 in other languages, I'm sure there are. In German, I'm
Let us
sure they
know.
can say. Yeah, right? We'd love to know. We always want to keep an open mind at Pod on Lansdowne. Tell us. But there are two ways to enter. Number one, you can go to bostondilf.com, BOSTONDILF.com. Our partners over there at Boston Dilf, we are running this giveaway with. Use the code ALLSTAR10, ALLSTAR10, and purchase any shirt. Get 10% off by using that code. You'll be entered to win that way. Or you can retweet the pinned post at Pawn on Lansdowne that details the giveaway, all the prizes, all the ways to enter, all that stuff. It's still pinned on our account. And follow at Pod on Lansdowne on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. There are two ways. Again, that's code ALLSTAR10 for 10% off any shirt at bostondilf.com, or you can retweet the pinned post at Pod on Lansdowne and follow our account to be entered for your chance to win. You have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 15th, which is this upcoming Monday, so the Home Run Derby, the day of that. You have until then to enter. We will announce the winner on next week's episode of the podcast, which is the third annual Havesies Awards ceremony, where we give out our first half awards for the 2024 Red Sox season. Again, at Pawn and Lansdowne on Twitter to learn how to win. Liam, who are you fucking with this week?
Honestly, man, it's very hard. I kind of have two here. I mean, they're not like, I don't think major in any sense. I mean, obviously, Cutter's performance Sunday night was unbelievable. 68 pitches, 54 strikes, 7 innings, 4 hits, no walks. Obviously, you know, he could have gone the distance. I think I'm very much okay with Cora making the decision to pull him there. One, because we started to get the sense that he was running out of gas just because the workload's creeping up on him, and they had an off day today, so why not?
Yeah, I get that.
You're going into the All-Star break soon too, so like, save bullets, man. I'm okay with that. Save them for the second half.
You could save even more bullets with the off day. I think if you went in and someone replied, I can't remember right off the top of my head who replied with this. Give him the short leash. I suppose, and again, this is all a moot point, and it ended up working out with Slayton coming into the game, even though he had that garbage 4-pitch walk like almost immediately after he came in. I'm trying to. Matt Knoll at Matt P Knoll, a friend of the program, replied, "Give him a short leash going into that 8th inning." But I mean, it's not like Soto and Judge were due up. You know what I mean?
It was 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Right, and yeah, you want to save his bullets, but he was what, at 12 pitches, I think, through 7 innings, approximately, maybe 14. But I would say give him the short leash, let him try to work through that, and then give the ball to Kenley if he gets through it in the 9th. I would have been fine with that. Again, this is all a moot point. I am not the manager. This is armchair managing. You know what I mean? I'll get yelled at that for that, and that's totally fine. But it did leave my head a little bit scratching. But the point is, cut a Dogford, though. Is that officially your fuck with? Can we put that on the record?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to shout out Massa too. I'll pull up his numbers in a sec. But yeah, no, I really wanted to highlight Cutter.
The dog
just
with
because, I mean, 7 straight starts of at least 6 innings now. Like, baby, listen. Okay, there have been a handful of starts where it's given up 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs. But if you're giving me that length every time out, this rotation, this team, this city has been dying for somebody to just give us 6 innings every time they go out. So 7 straight. I think I saw on the ESPN broadcast it was like the longest streak by a Red Sox pitcher since 21. I don't know if they gave us a name in the broadcast, but like, that's huge. He's been amazing. He's already over 100 innings. He's at 105 and 2/3 after a Sunday night start. And honestly, if we're just going to manage his workload like that and he's still going to be able to go 6 innings every time out, like, what more do I need?
Yeah, in this age of baseball,
like 6 innings, 3 earned runs for Cutter every time out. If that's what I'm getting, that's beautiful to me.
What's his career high?
In innings.
Yeah. I
I
mean, it's
believe
not like
it's
he's been around for 15 years, but
129 last year. Let
129.
me
I mean,
see.
if you want him to be in the picture long term, he is gonna have to. You're gonna have to hope that he's able to give you at least 150 on a consistent enough of a basis. So you're gonna have to find that out. But
Yeah, he
he'll
went
be on.
129 last year.
Yeah, but he'll be on track to do just that if he's giving you 6 frames a night. You know, it doesn't have to be 6 innings of shutout ball like you alluded to, but if he's giving you 6 innings in this day and age, absolutely sign me up for that. What I especially liked about Cutter in regards to Sunday night, the aggressiveness. He was pounding the zone, pounding the zone. And Yankees weren't getting. I mean, obviously they didn't get enough quality contact to score any fucking runs Sunday night, but he was attacking dudes. I love. I'm a slut for an aggressive pitcher. I don't know what to tell you. Like you know,
I mean,
nibblers and whatnot that
54,
can aggravate
54
you.
strikes and 68 pitches is
That's
unreal.
right.
Like,
Exactly. I didn't
that's
have the numbers right in
awesome.
front of me, but fucking aggressive. Go after guys. Go after them. Sometimes you might lose, but that's okay. Go after them.
Yeah, let him beat you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And
Pound
it's
the
not like
zone. Throw
it's not like there
strikes.
weren't men on. He gave up 4 hits throughout the night, so it's not like
Didn't
he
walk
was.
anyone.
Yeah, which is
Well, obviously, I mean, if you threw
that's
like
all I
two
ask.
balls the
That's all I
entire
ask.
night, right? Exactly. Right?
That's all I ask. Just
Go after 'em.
you limit the walks, especially to a lineup like the Yankees, where it hinges on 2 guys. And I mean, obviously, we saw Saturday where it was like, all right, Judge and Soto didn't hurt you, but Ben Rice,
No relation to
public
Declan.
public enemy number 1. He had himself a day, and it was a bullpen day. The pitching was thin. You get one off Wink, you get another off Chase Anderson. I forget who he hit the third one off. I wasn't watching at that point. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, he did a great job attacking that lineup, because we all know it's no secret. If you don't get hurt by, you just kind of pitch around Judge and Soto.
Yeah,
Not
and
pitch
take your
around
chances
them,
on the
but
other
like,
guys.
yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, the
And he
pressure's
gets enough-
off.
Yeah, he gets enough bats to miss anyway. Like, he gets enough whiffs to be able to live with that. He doesn't force a ton of ground balls, but he doesn't give up like all this like incredibly consistently hard contact, and he misses enough bats where he can live with kind of being Leroy Jenkins, just going after the fucking strike zone, being aggressive and getting after it that way. And I appreciate that.
Would it shock you if I told you that was his best start by game score of the year?
No, that would not shock me at all. The 7 shutout innings across a baker's dozen pitches, I'd say that's good.
It was a 73. His other 2 best were, there was 5 2/3 against Cleveland in April. That was a 71, and then his first start in Seattle was a 70. And he did look special that night. But Cutter, man.
Game score. That's not a stat that gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's helpful when I have them all like pulled up, at least when I'm just looking at their game logs. Like, I'm not going to go and, compare different pitchers, but I think it gives you a nice idea of what the overall performance was.
Yeah, right. If you know the stat. I will just say on a surface level, this is nitpicky. I mean, obviously 7 shutout innings with just 4 hits allowed, no walks. That's one hell of a start, especially with how efficient it is. But you said it was, what, a 72?
73.
73. That's a C-. That
Yeah.
doesn't look like it's a good score. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like it. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, C's get degrees, I suppose, but just on the surface,
Let me
Liam,
see.
I don't know if I like the aesthetics of that.
What, of the 73? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Let me look at Tanner's start against the Guardians.
Great start
in
in Seattle to start the year. You tell me he gets a 70? That's like borderline see me after class. Like, see the teacher after class. We have to talk about this to make sure you don't fucking flunk.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, Tanner's complete game shutout against the Guardians, that was a 90. So, I mean, really, you're looking at like for it's got to be a perfect game or no hitter if you want 100.
I suppose. Yeah. An A- for a complete game shutout.
I think it's a tough grade. I mean, because the stat itself.
A complete game shutout feels a little bit better than an A- though. Like, that feels like it should be an A. You know what I mean?
Feels like it should at least be a 95, 96.
I'd
Something like
say,
that.
right?
Um,
94, right? Yeah, if you walk a couple of guys that maybe you shouldn't have, like, on another note, a no hitter, Edwin Jackson's no hitter, not 100, not 100.
oh, with
He
his
gets
like
it.
7 or 8 walks.
He gets like a 93, a 94, right? I'd say so. It's no hits, but you also let 15 guys on base. You know, I don't know.
So, I mean, to our listeners, if they're unfamiliar with the stat itself, game
Game
score, the because we're just, I mean, it's basically you can kind of look at it as a Z score, like OPS plus, like along those lines. We're really, at least for this, 50 is average. Like the pitcher starts the
Yeah.
game with 50 points, and then you add a point for each out, and then 3 points for every complete inning pitched. Then you add another 2 points for each inning after the 4th inning. You add another point for each strikeout. You subtract 2 points for each hit allowed, subtract 4 for each earned run, subtract 2 for each earned run, and then subtract 1 for each walk. So it's a lot of addition and subtracting. That's all it is. But basically, you don't want to be below 50 because that's where you start.
Yeah, right. Yeah, where it gets to the point like it was better had you not started, right? If you had not
Yes,
thrown a ball, it
exactly.
would have been better. And I guess
Because yeah, Tanner's start against the Padres, his career worst. The game score was 18, and that was 4 1/3, 8 earned
at least
runs,
it
or
wasn't
7 earned
17.
runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But as we continue this aside on game score, maybe it's like maybe if you read it as like, okay, Cutter Crawford's start was great at like a 73, but it's graded on a curve of all the starts in baseball history. You know what I mean? Like Pedro's what, like
yeah,
18
it's
strikeout
like
game, one hitter,
17
like
strikeouts in the
in
Bronx.
the
Yeah,
Bronx. Yeah,
the Chili
17.
Davis home run is the only blemish. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
insane.
Yeah, shit like that. You know, yeah, maybe at that point it's like, yeah, technically, um, like Roy Halladay's no hitter in the playoffs. Yeah, that's higher than Cutter's in early July over 7, and I don't know. But again, that was not
if we want to if we want to, I mean, just one more thing on game score because it's sort of adjacent. I also wanted to shout out Nick Pivetta because I shat on him last week, and then he promptly threw 7 beautiful innings on July 4th with 10 strikeouts, and his game score for that, folks, 83. That sounds about right. 7 scoreless innings, 2 walks, 10 Ks. If you want to know how much of an enigma, if we're trying to really, I guess, summarize Nick Pivetta as a pitcher, if you look at his game scores dating back to June 5th when he started against
80-20,
Atlanta,
80-20, 80-20.
it literally goes that start against Atlanta, 82, then 34 against the Phillies, 50, a flat 50 in Toronto, 43 at Cincinnati, 31 against San Diego. And then he jumps back up to 83.
And then it was 15 and a half as the next one, probably.
I can't figure the guy out. I can't figure him out. But to his credit, he shut me up quite promptly, I must say. His first start after that episode, I said I needed more from him, and he gave me more. So
he did give you more.
But now it's what have you done for me lately? So let's see what he does. I guess I'm sure he's pitching against Oakland. That would make sense.
Yeah, his turn in the rotation.
So. And he loves the A's. He loves facing the A's.
Yeah, that's when he had his 35 strikeouts last year. Like 35
exactly.
consecutive
A late night
strikeouts,
Sox
right?
special. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was. That was during my. I had to drive home from Chicago to Boston because my flight for my bachelor party got canceled. That was the same night when I was listening to that on the radio, and Will Fleming I thought was gonna fucking either blow an artery or blow a nut, like him screaming. Like,
it was special, man. It was just he was pounding the zone. Nothing was missing. That's what I don't get with him. It's like some nights he looks like the best pitcher in the game, and then I don't know what happens. I don't.
Will Fleming did.
Yeah, shout out Nick.
He sounded like Jerry screaming during that last year. He's like, the 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. His 47th consecutive strikeout of the game. It was awesome. My fuck with for the week, I'll make it easy. Rafael Devers. We don't have to belabor this point. Just like Just look at the fucking stats. We mentioned this last week. We made it a point. We had the post on social that Jonah clipped up. He's quietly, or was quietly, not quietly anymore, was quietly having a career year, like an OPS plus north of 150. I don't have the numbers in front of me now, Liam, but can we take a look at what
I
that
got
OPS
you.
plus is now after this? Because since we said that, he's something along the lines of like 375 as we record this on Monday night. I don't know what happens on Tuesday. Obviously, the handful of homers, making Garrett Cole his child yet again. The 2 on Sunday night. He's a man on a mission, and now that he's a seasoned vet in this league, and I said this last week, and I'll bring it up again. And Will Fleming said it on Section 10, the one that released after the Yankees series. This is the evolution of Rafael Devers becoming perhaps more of a leader for this team, the next step in his career, and I love to see it. If this is what it is, it doesn't have to be this consistently, right? He doesn't have to hit 375. I would like it if he hit 375. I absolutely would say yes to that, but he doesn't have to. But if he's putting together clutch performances like this, authority with the fucking lumber, like, while being a leader with these young kids coming up and in this new culture being built, this new era of Red Sox baseball potentially getting started. At risk of getting ahead of myself when I say that, I understand. But no, it's excellent, and I just fuck with that. I love him very, very much. Was that enough time to stall for you to get that OPS plus number?
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm very much organized now.
Lovely.
So,
look at you.
Folks, the OPS plus for Rafael Devers this year, 165. It would be a career best. The OPS itself, 971. That would be a career best. The slugging, 593 would be a career best. The on base, 378 would be a career best. And then if you go even further down and want to look at like his walk rate right now, 11.9, that's a career best. So I mean, folks, quite simply, he's having a career year. This is special. Drink it in.
You rattling off there, you saying that's a career best, that's a career best, that's a career best. That's like the scene in The Social Network, where Andrew Garfield is being asked like how much were his shares diluted? They weren't. How much were Sean Parker's shares diluted? They weren't. How about Mark Zuckerberg's shares? How much were they diluted? They weren't. But no, it's excellent. And when he's fucking locked in like that, it is just such a joy to watch. Such a joy to watch. And
yeah, let me see. I also have his numbers. So we broke this down last week. We said from April 24th when they went to Cleveland, since now when he bottomed out before they went to Cleveland at 188, 328, 375. The OPS is still 700. But we were all like, where's the average? Where are the home runs? And since then, April 24th through July 7th, 19 home runs in 64 games started, 76 hits. The slash is 314, 389, 636 for an OPS over 1,000. I've got another stat from Sox Notes.
Chills.
Here's a crazy one. He's got 7 home runs in his last 11 games, most in the majors at that time. Most home runs since May 15th. 1, Aaron Judge at 22. Second is Rafael Devers at 17. Most RBIs since May 15th. 1, Aaron Judge with 56. 2, Rafael Devers, 41. So, I mean, obviously we don't have to talk Aaron Judge up all that much on this program. That doesn't really fit our agenda, but he's having another historic season. And if you're in that conversation yourself, it's safe to say you're having a historic season as well. I don't know if that's a hot take or not.
But fucking Westberg is one of the finalists for starting at third base.
And he didn't even make it. He's not even a reserve. So get out of here, buddy.
Democracy.
That's the way it should be. Honestly, I almost think if they just flipped it and it was like, okay, the players and coaches choose the starting lineups, and then everything else we leave it up to a fan vote. Like, because then who cares who's on the bench, really? I mean, it's cool when obviously a guy like Duran gets in there for the first time because he's so deserving this year, and the fan voting obviously let him down.
Well, that's the thing. Would it flip the other way? Like, if the fans picked the reserves and shit like that, would Duran get screwed?
No, I think in that situation, like the players and coaches would be like, all right, he's making the team. I mean, I think there's a way you can figure it out where be like, okay, the players and coaches choose 5 outfield spots. I don't know. This could be like a whole off-season episode, how we fix the
Yeah.
All-Star game.
Yeah, you know what?
Um,
That's a great idea.
there's
Can we make note
there's
of that?
there's definitely something we could do here because I do feel like okay, the players and coaches, you choose the starting pitchers, you choose the starting lineup, and we can go from there. There is something there. I think we can build a better world.
Yeah, right. It takes one to be the change you wish to see in the world. I just made a note in my.
Exactly.
I am no doubt. Not only am I going to forget this by the time Thanksgiving rolls around or something, but I'm going to forget this by the time this episode actually drops on Wednesday. I have a note in my apps. I have a note in my notes app called POL Offseason Episodes Ideas. How to fix All Star Game voting. Parentheses all caps. It stinks. So maybe that'll be a running note that I update, and it'll give us ideas during the long cold winter. But in any event, is there anything you're not fucking with this week? There's something I'm not fucking with, or someone I should say.
Yes, I did have a couple, but I meant to toss this out there when we were still talking pitching, and I was hyping up Cutter and Pavetta. Minor note: shout out Bailey Horn Friday night in the Bronx because
Yes.
Tanner, he came in, then there was the rain delay, then he came back out, didn't look as sharp. They pulled him. Bailey went 2 2/3 scoreless, kept you in the game, and then he handed it off to the Booze Crews, Slayton and Jansen.
Horned up.
His debut was a little shaky against San Diego, but we were also getting our asses beat. Since then, he looked good in Miami, in sort of a little two inning spurts. So yeah, that's the unsung hero of the week award goes to Bailey Horn.
But you're not fucking with him.
No, no, sorry.
I know.
Yeah, so my not fucking with, it's a little sad, and I don't think it's any fault of his own. Our boy Thick Willie, he just doesn't look right. He just doesn't look right since he came off the IL. It's only, listen, I got the numbers here.
It's a slap on the wrist.
It's been 12 games. He's started 10 of them. It's only 40 plate appearances. But 184, 205, 263 for an OPS of 468 since he came back. I think I don't know. I mean he really he trips in the dugout. I guess that's June 2nd. He doesn't come back for 20 days. I think he'll get it going this week now that they're back home.
His mechanics are too
played
good.
a week and a half.
I don't think too strong at the plate. Like he's too talented of a hitter for that. He's fine. It is what it is. But
no, I'm not worried about him at all. I'm also I'm more so just kind of like, well, I hope the ankle's all right. That's all.
Yeah. He'll be okay. Just a little slap on the wrist for him, just to keep him honest.
And that's okay. And also maybe it is just kind of like a thing of like, all right, it's his first full rookie season and things are going really great. They got interrupted by an injury. Now he's a little rusty. So learning opportunity perhaps for our young buck in right field.
Yeah.
Make some adjustments. Hopefully, recovering and doing what he needs to stay out on the fields. Like, not worried. Just, taking a second to highlight it. That's all.
Exactly. And again, he'll be fine. We love Thick Willie. Someone that we don't love, and again, I don't want to belabor this point. I don't want to go too far on this because I don't want to waste my time and energy thinking about it. Very simple, don't fuck with for the week. Alex Verdugo. This fucking guy.
Let's talk about that shot, shall we?
I don't want to get into the fucking Boston Sports Call radio stuff being like, oh, he got fucking no class from him, but like, you can't be taking 45 seconds to go around the bases when you're having the stretch that he's currently have. Was it Santi who tweeted his stat line since the MLB Good Morning or the Yankees Good Morning tweet?
Yes. Let me pull it up. Shout out Fenway Tendy.
Yep. Shout out Fenway Tendy, who made Ed Hand's tournament for the play-in for the Carabas Invitational. The one that I plan on winning this time around. We got bounced in the semis last year. We plan on it's coming home, Liam. It's coming home this time around.
I believe it. Hey, one of us has to. We're both
If
represented.
it's me and you in the
Somebody
final,
has to.
you're gonna meme me to death. you're gonna TikTok reference me to death. It's gonna hurt my feelings, but I think it's top 3 get in. So even if I lose in the final to you, that'll be fine.
That's okay.
So
So just gotta get to the podium.
So Santi's got it here at Fenway attendee, great friend of the program, of course. Alex Verdugo, since the Good Morning Coffee emoji hashtag rep BX
which was
tweet.
that Saturday morning after that. After
From
basically he let off that game Friday night at Fenway.
Yes.
For the next day.
So from the account at Yankees, by the way, the New York Yankees, just in case we're not clear.
The
Alex
only
Verdugo,
personality that account has ever shown, by the way.
I think if you tweet an exclamation point from at Yankees, I think you get fired on the spot. I think George Steinbrenner.
It's like it's basically equivalent to having a beard. They just
George Steinbrenner resurrects from the dead and bites you like a zombie, and there you go, you're toast. It's over. Alex Verdugo, since that tweet, is hitting 178 with a 241 on base, 514 OPS, 5 extra base hits in the span of, what would that make it, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Basically,
in quite some time. 4 RBI and 15 strikeouts. During that stretch, that's 19 games. Again, as we record this Monday evening, they are 5-14, the New York Yankees, which Santi says is the worst in baseball. Meanwhile, the Red Sox are 13-5. So, for Doogie to pull that shit, doing his chirping, going around the bases, things of that nature, while he's performing like that, like, I don't know, read the room a little bit there, buddy. Read the room.
I did love, I think it was Wink's comment, which I'm trying to pull it up. Yeah, he was like, so Wink about the home run and then the trot. He was like, I'm not too worried about it. He rides the roller coaster a bunch, so that's what he does. Like, God bless Wink, man. He's always good for a quote. I remember 2 years ago he wasn't impressed with Wrigley Fields, and
at all. He's like, yeah, what the hell is this?
He also wasn't impressed with the Yankees lineup. So I don't know. I think he's just a guy that shoots it straight, which I respect. And I feel like that's probably the sentiment in the clubhouse. They're like, whatever, man, do your thing. I'm trying to see, like,
I don't know. I hate to sound like a zoomer, but it just seems fucking cringe. Like, you're taking that time.
I think I totally understand it in the first game back at Fenway, but like, why are we doing this in the third inning? Like, bro, it's been like 3 weeks. Yeah, I don't know. And then, thankfully, like, then Devers pimped one like an inning later, and so you're like, all right, it's a moot point. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not going to get my feather.
Devers has been playing cold enough to fucking pimp it if he wants to.
Turn the cover off the ball, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially off his son.
Right?
So, I don't know. I'm not going to get my feathers ruffled by, air quotes, Alex Verdugo.
I wouldn't even say, and by the way, I'm not mad. Don't put it in the newspaper that I'm mad. But it's fucking cringe and it's exhausting. It's like, all right, dude.
He is. Yeah, he is. Right? He's a very, I don't know. He's like, it's like if you had like a little cousin and they're just like an edgelord or meme lord.
Right?
They have the Fortnite accent. So I don't know, man. Maybe Verdugo just needs to hang out with AJ and Big Justice.
Big Justice
they'll set him
the
straight.
Rizzler.
Yeah, get the Rizzler in there.
Alex Skibbity Toilet Verdugo for the home run. Jesus Christ. I think if you heard closely there on Saturday, every single dad in the New England area said simultaneously, next time he's up there, they need to put one up in his ear flap.
Yes. I think even Middlebrooks tweeted it. He was like, "You got to drill him next time."
He's a dad, and I imagine he's in the New England area because he's on Nesson enough. You know what I mean?
So funny. It also might have been Pap. Pap has been a menace on Twitter this year.
Pap probably asked for him to be decapitated, probably, knowing Pap, right?
Pap's like, I'm going to take him out back myself.
Right, yeah. Putting one in his rib cage would be getting off easy for Pap. He wants you sent to the boats. Right?
Yeah, I'm like, but I don't know. Whatever. Saturday was fun. I know. I mean, obviously not after they put up that 7 spot, like the bottom of the 5th. I was like, oh, well, this game's over. I don't know, man. Things have been feeling spicy. Maybe maybe I am coming around on the balanced schedule where it's like we don't see
It's
each
just
other that much, and when we
right. Makes
do,
it more special.
now it's a little spicy with
It means
Verdugo
something.
and
If you're
Deverzone and Cole.
you only see Arsenal or Man United, Man City twice a year in the Prem. You know what I mean? Like we only see Spurs twice. It makes it more special. Maybe I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Just a thought.
We'll have to see how this year plays out. The jury's
Different
still
sports,
out,
but
but it is very strange that that was our first trip to Yankee Stadium this year, and was July 5th, 6th, whatever.
and it was about a big series. It felt like
Yeah,
Dan
it did feel big. It really did, man. I mean,
what our fearless leader Dan Secator said on Over the Monster. It said the rivalry is bad. Like it feels like these juices are getting
felt spicy, man. Cole was obviously perturbed, for lack of a better word, on Saturday. I think it's one of those things where he's just kind of like, at this point, he's like, I have no idea what to do. You feel helpless. He's drowning. He's drowning out. He's drowning out there.
You're out. You've always been out. You've been out since the day you were born. Shout out to my boy though for getting married on Saturday, so I didn't have to watch them give up 11 unanswered runs. So
that's the way to do
that's
it.
just that's just my buddy looking out for me, which is great. I did tell him, I guess gambling like FanDuel or DraftKings, it's not allowed in Rhode Island. I was like, my wedding gift to you is to put the entire, like all the money that you get for gifts, put it on Devers to hit a home run today off of Garrett Cole. And sure as shit, as we're getting ready, bing, the MLB home run notification goes through, or I see the tweet on the timeline rather saying,
it was. He really does have a sense for the moment. Like
best script I ever read.
Sitting on 999 career hits. All right, first time up, rips an RBI single to right field. Second time up, he wants 1,001, then takes him deep.
Everyone was expecting the home run for 1,000, right? So
yes, I mean, I was ready for it. I even tweeted,
subversion.
I was like, Devers waiting. I'm sure even I'm surprised he didn't swing out of his shoes in the first at bat. Like he
does have a tendency to do that sometimes. When
so maybe he was like, I'm just gonna chill. We'll try it again in the second, third AB.
Sometimes Raf likes to hit a 5-run homer. So
yeah, exactly.
So
oh my God, can we talk about his second home run Sunday night, where it's like half a foot?
It was in New Jersey. The pitch was in New Jersey. Like that's where it crossed the plate, and he still fucking pulled it like 440 or some shit.
I like all day today. We're recording Monday. Like I've just been going back and like looking at the screenshot because it's so stupid. How one, he even hit it. Two, how do you even pull that to right center?
He's a freak of nature, dude. That's legitimately, it was probably like, I don't know if it was a foot and a half off the plate, but like it was really fucking far off the plate. So to not only, it's one thing if you are able to sit back on that a little bit, even if it's that far off the plate and hit it to the opposite field, that's still impressive. But to fucking pull that, man.
It was so dumb. It was extremely dumb. But
that's our thick boy. That's our king.
It is pretty nice that he's quite literally just the second coming of David Ortiz. I have this one tweet pulled up from Boston Sports Info. First 220 career ABs at either version of Yankee Stadium. Raffy, 16 home runs, 35 RBIs. Poppy, 16 home runs, 37 RBIs. So they're the same person. Welcome back.
It's the same.
He never left. Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick step aside. When we return, Liam, I believe we have a voicemail.
Oh my God.
Jake leaves for one episode, and we get a voicemail.
And then they start flooding in.
Would you believe it? Back after this. Let me just double check. I thought I saw it earlier today. I checked before we even recorded. Yep, it's Nate. Okay. It's a Dom Smith voicemail. Back in 3. We're back. Pawn on Lansdowne. Fitz and Liam at your service here. We have a voicemail that we want to play for you. And if you want a voicemail featured on the show, you are most certainly welcome to give us a call at... Liam, I'm testing you now. What's the voicemail line?
617-420-2431.
No hesitation. That was like fucking NBA 2K green
Been
light.
ready.
You
Could do
knew
it
it
in my
right
sleep.
off the bat.
That's like
Nailed
the
it.
LeBron where he looks at the ball in his hands and then steps back.
Yeah, right. Or when he dunks and he's mic'd up. Come on now, that's too easy. 617-420-2431 if you have a question or comment that you want featured on the show. We would love to have it on there. Just don't be racist or anything like that. That's all we ask. Your take could even be bad. Just don't be like
No, just don't be an
homophobic.
asshole.
Don't be a dickhead.
Just
That's
don't be
all
an
we ask.
asshole. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's pretty simple rules, I think. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, with the Havsy Awards episode next week, if you have a specific award that you would like to present on the show, you could potentially do it on the voicemail line. 617-420-2431. Call in, come up with the name of the award and who you'd like to present it to. Perhaps it will be featured during the 3rd annual Havsy Awards. We already have a fair amount of awards already lined up from some special guests.
It's going to be like a 5-hour special with
yeah, the New York Times is going to write an
coming
article
in.
about like how we need to improve the Havsy Awards. We're still workshopping it. We're trying to get Jimmy Kimmel to host it. I know everyone enjoys when he hosts the Oscars. So when he does the Havsies,
who was the guy that did the Emmys, like Coy or whatever?
Oh, Joe Coy, the Golden Globes, I think it was.
We're gonna get Joe Coy to host the Havsies.
Just bombing.
You're right, though. It was the Globes.
I'm not saying this to
Jake
pump
would have
Jake's,
loved that.
I'm not even saying this to pump Jake's tires. I mean this. He probably could write a better 5 for an opening monologue. He really could than what Joe Coy did. Anyways, let's. I'm pulling up the voicemail now. It's from our friend Nate, friend of the program, of course. The voicemail starts right now. I'm about to play it for us. We'll hear it live on the show.
Do it live.
Nope. I gotta make sure that's on the speaker.
Right. What's up, guys? It's Nate. I'm calling in to say that if it, this is an announcement. Like, Dom Smith is so important to this team. He's fantastic. He's a vibes commander. Like, I don't care if he's hitting 210. I mean, this guy is important to the team. I need to keep Dom Smith on this team.
Well, there you go. Thank you for that, Nate. Dom Smith. I mentioned it earlier. I'll say it again. I mean, I know this is elementary. I'm not I'm not doing any Moneyball shit here by saying this, but him keeping the line moving to set the table for Yoshida on Friday, massively important. Massively. Now, I will say,
that's an AC masterclass, having him pinch hit.
AC, he does
put it in play.
He's
pulling the strings.
AC has cooked with his pinch hitters in the past. You got to give him that. We poke fun at the platooning idea where he's Monty Burns, where he'll take out Darryl Strawberry just to play the percentages. It's what smart managers do to win ball games. But sometimes it's hard to argue with results. You know what I mean? I will say, the vibes with Dom Smith, of course, and he'll be like one of those guys in 5 years. Dom Smith will be one of my names here in 2029. Like, I'm introducing everybody. You guys referenced some TikTok that I haven't seen yet in your names, and then I go, I'm Dom Smith, a.k.a. Fitz, this is Pawn on Lansdowne. There is another left-handed hitter primed to join the team and play first base at some point. So, I mean, I would still think, like, Smith has been solid enough defensively at first where you're like, okay, you could potentially see him sticking around when Casas does come in.
On the line out there.
Exactly, right? And he has his moments.
They could have killed him.
Cult hero, potentially. You know what I mean? For this stretch.
I mean, I can't say enough about how much I love Dom. I mean, everybody on Twitter knows I already bought. I bought his jersey the night he made his debut. It was a special. It was May 1st against San Francisco. He had a hit and an RBI. I gotta say though, I mean, to his credit, I really thought Garrett Cooper was going to be the better move. At first glance, I was like, why are we signing Dom Smith? Like, what is happening? But to his credit, I've fallen in love. I don't think I've felt this way about an obscure Red Sox role player in quite some time, and that's my guy. And like Nate said, he's a vibes commander. You know, I think it was when Rafaela hit the home run Friday night in extras. He and Devers were going nuts on the dugout railing. So I think there is still a place for him when Costas comes back.
Yeah.
I don't know how you make it work. Um, but I would be heartbroken if Costas comes back and the immediate move is to get rid of Big Dom, because it seems like he fits with the boys. He's clearly, I love shout out the play Tessie fellas, because they've interviewed him a couple times on the field before the game, and he's just a great guy, it seems like. So I got nothing but good things to say about Dom. Obviously, there have been some like defensive boneheaded plays every now and again, but
But he's also
for the
made
most
some
part,
really good plays, you know?
right. Like, God, what was it? There was one over the weekend that's escaping me now, where maybe it was Sunday night, where Carl Ravitch was like Dom Smith crawling for the out, or so, I don't know, something along those lines. But yeah, he's been a steady presence. I mean, obviously it'd be nice to have some more right-handed hitters in the lineup, but shit, I mean, they're making it work. Rafael is, I had his numbers pulled up earlier. We could circle back to him in a hot sec if we want, but he's been on fire for the last month now, like hitting over 300. He's got 6 home runs. So I'm really happy to see, quick tangent on Rafaela, but super happy to see that coming around there.
Yes.
Because that's huge at the bottom of the order to turn the lineup over. Then he gets Iran again. Like, the defense aside, because we know how good it is, it's been awesome to see the bat mature. But yeah, to take it back to my boy Dom, since June 1st, I mean, it's nothing that's going to blow you away. The slash is 253, 354, or an OPS of 740. Like, his first month with the team, May 1st through May 31st, was less impressive. It was 198, 278 for an OPS of 562. So, I mean, if Dom can just be a guy that comes off the bench late in the games, or say we need to like sell Casas for a day in the field, or I don't know how they'll manage that in the second half if he comes back and it's like still nagging at him, the rib injury that is. I think it'll be tough to part ways when we know the alternative is waiting in Worcester.
Well, again, I mean, there could be days where you need to get Casas off his feet as he works his way back. You know what I mean? So to be able to deploy Dom in that sort of a situation could be handy.
I mean, if your backup first baseman is giving you an OPS of 740, like, shit, I'll take that all day.
Exactly.
He's not the most versatile player. I know, like, we love versatile players. Heim loved versatile players. I think Breslow does too. But there are some guys where you're like, if they're giving you stuff in the clubhouse and doing enough on the field to like justify their presence, I don't see why you wouldn't keep him around. It just seems like he's having a ball, and the guys like him. So
exactly, and this crew, as it stands now, they're performing, and that's without Casas, who's one of your more dynamic hitters. It also, I guess that's a good segue into the question. I guess the last Red Sox related thing that I wanted to bring up. Am I paused? Am I frozen? Am I okay?
No, you're good.
That was fine that entire time. All right,
yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Still good. All right, I froze again. You can hear me. You can
no,
hear me.
you're good.
Hear me.
You're good.
Okay. All right.
Heard you the whole way.
This old piece of junk, I guess. Anyways, it transitions into the last point that I quickly wanted to make, and I think I said it last week, and I said it recently, but I'll repeat myself again. An emoji of the week is the like the repeat like arrow emoji. You know what I mean? Like the cycle. Looks
I know what you mean.
Like the repeat song. Because I'm repeating myself. That's your emoji of the week. This team is very clearly proving to the front office that, okay, they deserve to, again, maybe not buy like all the way where it's like championship or bust, but they're doing enough. They're doing enough that warrants Breslow to at least put some chips into the table, I think, clearly.
Invest
a bit, even if it's just these, mid prospects, here and there. You don't have to sacrifice any of the big three or whoever it might be, right? But at least signal to the team like, okay, we believe in you. We're going to supplement what we've already been building so far.
I agree.
I was going to wait you out. I
know
was
you were. I know
ready
you were.
to wait you out, and it was going to be awful. It was
I
going to be
will.
turn off.
I
20% of the audience would have tuned out right
it'd
there.
be like, is the show still on?
Yeah, right.
I mean, what, if anything? I mean, if we're just talking minor moves, what? I mean, do you have any names in mind? Like, I mean, initially a week ago, I was thinking like Rengifo would be a great fit. 20 stolen bases, plays middle infield. He's having a really good year and he's under control for next year. But now he hurt his wrist and he's on the IL. So I mean, the wrist injury always worries you, especially when it's a position player.
When it's a hitter, with the bat speed, right?
Yeah.
No specific names, and that's also not my job. I am not the president of baseball operations, so I don't have to give you any names.
Craig, call us.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to think.
Call in for the halfsies.
I think it was Jordan Leandri put out a good follow. I think he put out on Twitter a hypothetical like, ooh, what if it was this lineup? And an interesting name was thrown in there, Christopher Morel of the Cubs. Now, there's a lot of boom and bust in his game. He's having, like he's driving in enough runs. He does have some juice, but I think he's hitting below the Mendoza line. But he could play some third. He could play some outfield. It could give you some juice. The Cubs are a disappointing team this year. It could be interesting. I don't know what his contract situation is off the top of my head. I think he's... How many
he's very much
under
control.
I was going to say, this is probably his third year, if memory serves.
Debuted in 22, played 113 games. Last year, 107 games. He's already at 89 this year. So, I mean, I'd imagine he's at least under control for the next 2.5, if not 3.
Yeah, those ARB years. I don't know if I'd pull the trigger on that. I just thought it was an interesting name. Coley mentioned Jonathan India on Section 10, which, and again, another NL Central team that, has a bright enough of a future, but they have a lot of position players that are, it's a semi-similar situation. There's only, right. What the?
Here we go. He's 27.
He's 21 when he won Rookie of the Year. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, he won Rookie of the Year in 21. He was 24. He's 27 now. So.
All right, now I'm getting Robo voice from you. I'm getting.
Yeah, no, you're cutting it. You're cutting in and out bad. You're cutting in and out bad right now.
Maybe it's like
my friend.
Maybe it's just fucking burning or something like that.
Yeah, you were doing really well up until like 2 minutes ago. Timeout. We're calling a timeout.
Oh man, fucking A. What is happening?
And we've lost Fitz. So it's just the Liam show now, folks. Strap in. If anyone out there's watching, Jonah, if you're still watching, Fitz is completely frozen. He's going to try to connect from his phone. So, yeah, technical difficulties. Stand by.
1 second. All right, I think we're back to normal. Can you hear me? Hi, Spliff. Thank you.
I can hear you.
Delay. There we go. So I have my phone ready to go here just in case. I'm going to add myself to the call just in case. But I have myself muted, right? I have myself muted.
Oh, there you are. Fits back up.
Right, Fitz back up. And that's just my phone. See? It is. See? There it is. So just have it pointed up to the ceiling. Now the GeoGuessr dude is going to be able to guess where I am based off of that. Back. I'll do a whole thing, and if it starts glitching out again, I'll just pop over onto the phone, and then I'll find a way to end it from there. Thank you for staying through the rain delay there. Back at,
Yeah, I didn't really do anything entertaining. I just kind of sat here,
yeah,
watched
so
your
it's just-
texts come in.
right. All right, so back in like 3 seconds. All right, ground control to Liam. Am I coming in clearly?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
It's fine.
You made
Okay,
it. You
yeah.
made it back. You made it back.
Technical difficulties have been fixed. So yeah,
That
Dom
was
Smith,
special. That was special, I gotta say.
But we're talking about fucking trades or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Jonathan India. I think those were your final message.
Jonathan India could be a good right-handed bat. I don't know. It was just some idea that I thrown in there. But again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Potential, right-handed bat to potentially supplement the lineup or controllable pitching, as we've mentioned. I know you can't have your cake and eat it too and say controllable pitching, but also protecting the big three. Just something to boost this team, to signal to them that, like, okay, we're ready to even supplement this even further because we believe in this core. But anyways, they kind of lost a little bit of momentum because of the great.
You should leave the whole thing in there. Just white noise.
That would be a true testament to the. Brunch did something along those lines once. Where I forget what their bit was, but for like 13 minutes or something, like 15 minutes. I don't know why I said 13. They did nothing except like maybe like one or two, like they went like into the microphone like on purpose. DJ Bean and Pete Blackburn, I think it was a couple of years ago. But in any event, let's wrap this shit up with Song of the Week, unless you have anything else specific that you want to add.
No, I'm looking forward to this Royals series next weekend at Fenway.
Massive.
I will say
you
that
don't want
much.
to overlook the A's. You still need to take care of business at home.
Of course.
But to potentially go into the All-Star break, say if it's like 4-2 over this week, to go in with that, man, that's really going to get us buzzing there, because then a couple of our guys are at the All-Star festivities, going to a big series out west, while potentially gaining some ground or putting some more distance rather between you and the Royals, who are direct competition for the wild card at this juncture. There's a big opportunity at play here. The Royals are a good team, and I feel like the A's are a little bit better than we gave them credit for initially.
Yeah, I mean, when we saw, they're still 34 and 58. The run differential is -89, but they're not the White Sox. That's for damn sure.
Right, but make no mistake though. Like, they've gotten through a gauntlet of a matchup here, winning series against Philly, 2 against the Yankees here. That they've been playing some real tough competition and holding firm, holding strong. So they get credit for that. Be a big week.
Yeah, I'm ready to feast on those Royals, man. I've heard enough about Seth Lugo. I've heard enough.
It will be one way or the other. It could be the Seth Lugo legacy game. Is he lined up to pitch
It
against
is.
us?
Let me see if they have previews or not lined up yet. They might not. It might be too far out. But yeah, in any event, I mean, it is kind of poetic that there was all that noise in the offseason. Oh, the Royals are outspending the Red Sox, or at least around here. It was very sports talk radio-ish. Where it was like, oh, the Royals are going out and signing Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha and Hunter Renfroe. Why aren't the Red Sox doing anything?
Mhm.
And now here we are fighting for the third wild card with them. So that's baseball.
Well, Susan, that's baseball.
But yeah, I'm not seeing. No, I don't have any previews or anything. But Lugo, Wacha, Brady Singer, like they're no scrubs on that team. Bobby Witt is playing MVP caliber baseball. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think the ballpark will be. I think the ballpark will be buzzing a little next weekend. At least I hope going into the All-Star break with the team you're fighting for with a playoff spot. You know, obviously it's not late September, but I think the vibes will be good. I think the vibes will be good
with Bobby Witt, though. Good for Casey getting a start like that. Locked down.
God, I mean, imagine if you're the Orioles that year, you couldn't go wrong either way with Adley or Bobby Witt.
I still think you're fine with Adley. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course. I mean, franchise catcher that's that good.
They're gonna be. I
mean, look at what the Pirates and Henry Davis. Like, he hasn't stuck yet.
Yeah. Again, he's still young. The progression isn't linear, but Baltimore's
going
to be fine on their left side of the infield.
Man.
Yeah, but to have that behind the plate, again, like you said, couldn't go wrong. Because I asked Jake for his song of the week, he also gave me his fuck with and don't fuck with, just very quickly.
Oh.
He's fucking with Sedan. He's not fucking with Winkowski. And his song of the week, which is interesting, I pressured him.
Let me get into him about Wink. I think there were a lot of people on the timeline being far too harsh for Wink's performance Saturday.
Very mean to Mr. Winkowski. Very mean.
They're being very nasty. Quite frankly, he's your swingman. And
that's right. You don't need him to be this.
Yes, I want Coop back.
Starter.
Cooper Criswell, by the way, the International League Player of the Week, Pitcher of the Week, rather. Right. So I would love Coop back up here. But yeah, I mean, if Wink has to spot start, that's fine.
That's fine.
The bullpen was cooked that day anyway. So flush it, dump it. This one's garbage. Wink, you're still okay in my book.
Yeah,
especially with the comment about Verdugo after the game.
Yeah, he gets a little. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he gets
cheeky, little cheeky rub at Verdugo.
But Jake's song of the week, and this is interesting. This is why I want to yell at Jake. He picked "Margaret" by Lana Del Rey featuring Bleachers. Now, Jake, many a times on the timeline, has voiced his disaffinity, if that's a word, his disdain, Liam, his scorn. Towards Jack Antonoff, the front man for Bleachers. It's essentially the Jack Antonoff.
It's true. It's well documented. It's well documented.
Jack and his singing Antonovs in the background. That's what Bleachers is. But then he goes and picks a Bleachers song. Listen, I'm noticing.
He's noticing.
I'm noticing. The noticer has logged on. I couldn't help but notice that Mr. I Hate Jack Antonoff just picked a Jack Antonoff song as his song of the week. But in any event, what is your song of the week?
I'm throwing it back. This song came on my Spotify DJ. Shout out Artificial Intelligence. Bleed It Out, Linkin Park. It was a real throwback, and it came on over the weekend. It's a banger.
There you go. Speaking of the weekend, I don't know if you heard I was at a wedding over the weekend. I don't know if I mentioned.
Oh my God, were you?
Yeah. Newport. Yeah, my friend. as you said, it was on Saturday. No.
Of course.
Have you ever had a cultural blind spot, Liam?
Oh, of course.
A big part of the zeitgeist.
Happens to all of us.
It happened to me this weekend. We're sitting we're sitting in Newport. We're having some drinks. Someone's got the aux, and they put a song by the name of a bar song (Tipsy) by a man by the name of Shabuzi.
Oh, Shabuzi! Shabuzi's awesome. I love Shabuzi.
I had no idea how big
he's gonna be. He's gonna be at Emerson in September. We should go.
I I have gone 0 to 1,000,000,000 on Shabuzi in the last, I don't know,
48
I don't know the math
hours?
of it. I was gonna say 98 hours because this is this was 4th of July as I heard it for the first time. And I was sitting there, having I'm like starting to tap my feet, and it gets into the chorus, someone pull me out a double shot. I was like, what song is this? And Liam, everyone looked at me, like darted their head right at me. And they looked at me like I had 4 heads, and like, they're like, you've never heard this song? I'm like, no, what is this? It's like, it's
quiet as it's
Shabuzi. What are you
kept,
talking
man.
about, Fitz, right? Quiet as it's kept.
Quiet as
And
it's
then I
kept,
look,
man.
damn near 500 million plays on Spotify. He's at 442 on it.
Yeah, he's had a huge, he's really blown up in the last 6 months. Like, he was on Beyonce's album.
Yep, yeah, he helped with Cowboy Carter. I looked it up. I did a bit of a Shabuzi deep dive. Yeah, he helped out a little bit. And
Annabelle's my personal favorite.
Sure.
That's mine.
But I guess I just missed it. The single came out in April.
It's okay. It happened fast. It happened fast, man. It happens.
He is, as I record this now, Monday night, 442,350,524 plays on Spotify. I account for probably, conservatively speaking, 20,000 of those plays since Thursday night. What a song!
It's gonna ruin your Spotify Wrapped.
Right? Yeah, this is gonna ruin the tour and the fun. Yeah, right. They know that me and Jack Daniels have. I don't even like Jack Daniels. I'm not even a big whiskey guy, right? In the first place, I'll be pouring double shots of whiskey, right? I don't even know if there's a 5th Street around here, but if there's a party down, we're on my way. On my way.
I'm telling you, we should go. Emerson in September, POL live event.
Just play it 20 times in a row. Or if he plays the others, I'm sure I'd like that too. If it's anywhere near Shabuzi, if it's anywhere near Tipsy, I'm about that.
Yeah. He's got a handful of other good ones.
What a song. I got to do a deeper dive on Shabuzi's discography now. Clearly, he's made.
It's really not that deep. I think this is his first full album.
Okay.
There might just be an EP or a couple singles before this, but I got into that big time back in March, probably.
It got to the point during the wedding, it came on, and my friends looked at me. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't want to appropriate your song here. I didn't want to become the Shabuzi guy. I'm sorry.
You're the Shabuzi head. Shabuzi head.
Shabuzi head. I was like, oh God, inspirational. What a song. I'm going to listen to this.
He's good, man. He's got the juice. He's got the juice.
So yes, a bar song, Tipsy by Shabuzi. That is my song of the week. And I was slow in the uptake, but you know what? Better late than never. So,
surprised we got 90 minutes in here.
I know, right? Well, 15 were technical difficulties. So, right?
Leave them in for the audience. Give them the full experience.
I might. That might be an artistic choice. Like, if you sat through the delay, you got to hear my musings about Shabuzi. You deserved it. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Unless you have anything else that you want to add.
I got nothing, man. Let's go beat some A's.
Put some D's in some A's. It's going to be a fine evening. Dirty Mike and the boys. So, on that,
thanks for the F Shack to our loyal listeners.
Dirty Mike and the boy, yeah, right?
That's what we're going to call the POL studio, the F Shack.
The F Shack.
Yeah, thanks for the F Shack.
I need that. We need that. So, in any event, that'll do it for Pod on Lansdowne. Thank you very much for your time. And if you sat through the delay, your patience as well as we do this recording.
True patriot.
So, yeah. For Jake, in parts unknown. For Liam, I'm Fitz. You're you. We'll talk to you next week for the 3rd annual Havsy Awards. It is a black tie event, I'll have you know. It's black tie. No one dressing like scrubs. We need everyone looking prim and proper. Sunday best, you name it. I need everyone dressing to the nines.
We'll be ready.
We'll be rolling out the red carpet.
I'm sending my suit to the dry cleaner now.
As we speak, look at you, men prepared.
Gotta get it pressed. Gotta get it pressed. I'll break out the loafers, bow tie. It'll be great. Everyone will look beautiful, stunning. Be the best halvesies you've ever seen.
Mr. Wallinger, who are you wearing? I'm wearing Homage on the shirt, and 47 brand is the hat. Go Sox and obey your mother.
Go Sox. Love my boys. Obey your mother.
How do we go through that without going, I love my boys this entire time?
I love my boys. I love my boys. We love them.